Hope you guys like Eurydice. We're playing The Last of Us on the PS4 on grounded difficulty mode, which you can play right out of the box, which is incredible. So, I said that excuse me a second, I'm in a world of pain here. I said that I tried to sell my PlayStation 4 to somebody, but they said it was defective and they sent it back to me. I turned it on, it was on safe mode, and I looked it up on Google 5 minutes later after holding the power button until it beeped twice. It was perfectly fine. So I just said to hell with it, I'll keep it. You know, there's no offerings on it currently except for this game. And keep 60 frames a second on. If I were you, I don't think I feel I don't see the benefit of it myself, because I don't play on a television. I play on a computer monitor, which is 30 inches, but it says 1080i is all I can output. So, do you see this? What I'm doing? I'm aiming while crouch walking, which enables me to move as quickly as I can without just grazing the analog stick halfway. Otherwise, even if you're outside, these people down here, well, not people, they're not fucking people, they're feeding on a body down there, they will hear you. So why am I doing this? Because I don't like to move the analog stick halfway up. It hurts my thumb. So I'm gonna pan the camera down here. There they are. If you move the analog stick all the way forward, they will hear you. So this is a great way to do it. So what you want to do, jump down here. Fall damage that does exist in this game, it obviously has to be higher up than that, but just wait until you hear the music in the background, and then you can proceed to walk faster. I'm also adjusting to the control scheme a little bit, so sometimes you'll see me aim instead of trying to run, because the buttons are different on the PlayStation 4 controller. Now, I only permit myself to use one bullet here, because ammunition and resources are both scarce in this game. Plus, Tess takes care of. I've had Tess kill all these people before, and I'm pretty bold when I play this game like this. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but you know, I'm just gonna take this guy out here because he's a piece of shit. It is a good, and I got my bullet back. There we go. That was good. Nicely done, Texas. Okay, so there is me aiming again when I'm trying to run. I hate, like I said in my Survivor guide, I hate holding a button to go fast. But this time around, it's the L1 button, so it's not too bad. What else to say? Yeah, it's not a no damage run. It's a kind of a personal challenge to me, and also yeah, another example of me trying to run and then I press the wrong button. I'm trying to challenge myself with this. I will not be looking at any other content on the internet when I'm doing this, because what's the point of doing that? It's just cheating. But I mean, if people need help, obviously that's fine if you're watching it. This conceit here, it has you. That draw distance wasn't very good right there. I saw that pop in right there of those leaves. Anyway, so it's the last guy you take down that will give you the warehouse key, and this was pretty brazen too. I was expecting to go into a punching match here, but fortunately, Test came out. And there might be an item over there to the right. I forgot to look. Yeah. I don't know where every single piece of scrap metal is and stuff like that. I don't care about the collectibles, but I do care about the scrap metal. So this part, I would say that this part's the hardest part, just because of the finicky way that the last two guys are set up. But I have a good take here. And I think the guy always does what he's going to do upstairs when he looks at the wall. So this first guy, when you're trying to take out a human being, you don't have to graze the analog stick. You can move it all the way forward, and then just take this guy out. And just to be clean and professional, I dragged the bodies behind cover. You can actually drag them very far. And then and some of these, they will be they will a little alternate for you, because if I die, then the enemies might be in a different place or in a different part of what their path is normally. But this is not one of those parts. So take this guy down, triangle, and then drag him over here. If you want to, it's not necessary, but they could see him from up there. So what this mode is fewer checkpoints, which is stupid, and even stupider is no HUD. So I can't even see my health. But I did read that the light bar on the PlayStation controller indicates your health. So as of now, it's green. So if it turns yellow or red or some other color, I'll let you guys know how that's working. But take this guy out. Watch out for the black guy seeing you, and also watch out for the empty paint cans. See this right there? That's what I was looking for. If you run into those, they'll hear you. So see, watch out for those. And in my advice, unless you absolutely have to use a shiv, do not use the shiv. Save them for the shiv doors. And then this worked out really well here, but I don't think it's luck. I think this guy always will look at the wall over here. So watch what this guy does. He'll walk over into this room and then just stare at the wall and crack his neck. It has to be what he does every time. So take him out. And the black guy actually saw us slightly, because I got that ominous music when I was taking him down. And then when you come in here, you're just going to have to go over to him, because his path doesn't come over this far. He just turns around and goes back. Okay, so there he is. And if enemies are walking towards you and you're trying to do a corner takedown, you have to press in the direction of the enemy plus the triangle button. See that? That was a mess up on my part. I was trying to sprint towards him, but I aimed instead. And that's just because I haven't adjusted to the controls. They're perfectly fine on the controller. It's just that I'm brand new to this game. But I've already cleared Survivor, so I have a familiarization with it. And in case you're wondering, I'm also trimming out a lot of the sections that aren't the sections that are, all the lulls. This section's actually pretty damn easy. You see that guy that was highlighted over there to the left? That was from Tessa's hearing range. It does that sometimes. But watch how far I drag this motherfucker right here. Pick him up. And just look how far you can drag these enemies. I thought there's no way I could drag him this far. And then we're going to lay his ass right down over here. And this game, it feels really visceral. It feels like kind of like Manhunt in its brutality, even though I never finished that game, but it really feels great. There's me pressing the wrong button to grab the object. As far as this guy, wait till he goes over there by that green propane tank and then take him out behind the crane. But just always be careful. And this game is tough. It's got the AI is very fastidious and just unpredictable. Okay, so take that. Okay, wrong fucking button again. Pick it up, and the weapons that you get, they have a certain amount of they don't have integrity. They have I guess they have an integrity. They have a health integrity, which means like a stamina. You can only use them so much. You can also upgrade them to get to deliver fatal blows. But right there, what I was doing, I was pressing triangle and he didn't grab him. So that tells me you have to press in the direction of the enemy plus the triangle button. So there's only like 3 guys left now. And we're going to go pick up that other shiv. Okay, so there's that guy. pretty free and clear right now. So the best advice I could give you is just, always put cover in between you and the enemies. Try not to walk right into them like sometimes happens to me. It's not a good greeting. So there is the shiv right there, but I didn't see it, so I still pick it up. I'm going to swivel the camera now and try to look for it. There it is. So bottom line, take as few shots as you possibly can, stealth as much as you can, punch as much as you can, and get every single thing you possibly can pick up. Now this guy here, he's going to take a left, to our left, and he's just going to stand in one position. But sometimes you can watch this. See, I don't get seen or even get minutely detected because I'm just not in his cone of vision. See, that is good programming. So you can freely take this guy out. However, there's one more guy plus another little trap that they lay for you. And when I say trap, I just mean that all the enemies except one are cleared, and then they expect you to go to the door, but there's one guy hiding behind a whole bunch of crates up here. Just always pick up, bricks. I prefer bricks because in my mind, the sound of a crashing bottle does not make as much noise as the sound of, the dull thud of what a brick crumbling, cracking. I'm getting all my words mixed up, but I just don't think a brick would make as much noise as a breaking glass. That's all. So I'm going to take my brick out and approach this guy from the left because it's more safe that way. Okay, so we're going to take him out. But look what happens up here. Tess says to just go to the door, but if you go up there, what are you supposed to do with that guy to the right? He's going to attack you and kill you. So I should have swapped shoulders, but I don't know how yet. I forgot. I think it's one of the analog sticks. Hopefully you can without going into cover. So this sequence here, this is trimmed out a little bit. Okay, he's going to throw the gun at us. You can't fail this. Well, you possibly could, but you could easily take a wrong turn, but it doesn't end up in a failure. Okay, so take a right through these flaps, and then you want to go over here, and then we'll get a cutscene, and we'll be reunited with Marlene. But the first thing you want to do is go over here and collect these. When you're hovering over items, just hold the triangle button down. You don't have to continually keep pressing the triangle button to pick up, like, if there were, for instance, 5 things on the table, just hold the triangle button down and you'll swipe everything up. It's a nice little tip. Okay, so I had a bit of ladder trouble over here. It tends to happen in this game. Okay, well, she cock-blocked me a little bit. And that's probably the reason. So get the fuck out of my way so I can go up the ladder. And because I don't like turning the camera too much, I do the 180 turn quite a lot. And it looks odd, but it's just faster for me, so I don't have to move the camera. And we're going to take a point of interest over there to the left. I'm going to ignore it, though, and go into this window, grab the scrap metal, and wait for Marlene to ask us to help her. I really like this game. I don't mean to sound sarcastic. This is a great game. It's hard to do a guide for it though, because it's pretty long, and for me personally, it's a rather depressing game. But it's a new experience. I mean, it's new hardware. I've never played a full game on the PS4. The offerings are very sparse at the moment. This is the digital copy of the game, and it took about 3.5 hours to start playing it. And I thought they were going to have, even though I said to download the single player first because I'll never play the multiplayer, it didn't let me play the game while it was downloading, even though they said that was going to be one of the features of the PS4. So I had to wait 3.5 hours to play the content. So when you come up here, just be slow. And I did fail this up ahead because the last guy, I tried to throw a bottle, but I pressed the wrong button, as usual. So the state of the environment, I'll show you exactly where it is. It's going to differ if you're doing it on the first time without restarting or failing. So if I can remember where the edit is, it's right over here, right there. So this is a new state of the environment, and the enemies are going to be in different locations, but they will end up being in the same location. You're just going to have to wait a little bit if you're playing on a restart. And what am I doing there? Okay, I think I was just biding time because I had planned to go over that detail about the state of the environment. Because when you first do this, they're on a path already, and then they reset when you fail. See, that guy that's shooting that person right there was already up a ways when I first came over here, and because I'm restarting, now he's shooting that guy, and we're gonna have to wait to take this guy down as a consequence. So this is very easy. All their backs are turned. Very simple stuff. Okay. See, things won't be this easy further into the game, but still, it's a decent challenge. I mean, I don't like how they took the checkpoints off. I first noticed that when I played it on the PS3, and I even published a few videos doing a guide for it, and then I lost interest. I promised not to. Well, I can't promise anything, guys. I have nothing else to play, so that's a pretty good sign. That's, it's best of a pledge that I can do. But again, there's never a guarantee that a guide will be finished. So I messed up again, but I finally got him, and that's the end of the video. Well, the end of this section anyway.